Hey y'all, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Forgive my voice. I have filmed 2 videos back to back and now we're on the 3rd. So hey, let's go. This is going to be a very informal video, honestly. More of just a chit chat. It is a tag, as you can see from the title. Tiffany over at Beautiful Minutia tagged me in this and I'm super excited to talk about all the answers I have for this. I have not prepared. Let's go. It's going to be impromptu as I'll get out. But this is the Behind the Booktube tag, I guess. Is that what this is? This is hers was Behind the Booktube, peeking behind the scenes of 2.5 years of content creation. So for me, I have been doing this almost 2 years, I guess. It'll be 2 years in February. Behind the Booktube tag. Yes, that is what it's called. So, yeah, I'm super excited she tagged me this. The minute I saw it anyway, I was like, ooh, I want to do this. And I was like, oh, she tagged me. So thank you so much, Tiffany. If you're not following her, I will leave her channel down below. She has some great content. I need to catch up on everybody's videos. Girl, I need to catch up on your videos. I ain't gonna lie, I'm behind on everybody's videos, y'all. So forgive me for that. But I love her videos whenever I get time to sit down and actually go through them. There's so many of y'all's videos I'm behind on. So that's just, again, transparency, which I'll talk about that probably here in this video. I'm sure there's a question. That's a hard part. Okay, let's keep going. So the first question on this list is, number 1, what has surprised you the most about Booktube, both in a good way and in a bad way? Now, we're going to get transparent as I'll get out on this. Okay, you ready? You already know, though. Transparency is very important to me on this channel, and so yeah, we're going to go into it. For me, the thing that has surprised me the most is very similar. I think a lot of us are going to have the same type of answer on this. For her and me, me and her are both the same on this. The friendships, it's just, wow, the community. I know I have a prayer circle here anytime, and you all let me know your things you need prayer for as well. But just the friendships I have made on this platform has been just remarkable, beautiful, amazing, wonderful. I was just talking to one of my beautiful sisters this morning about how much we appreciate each other and are thankful for each other. You know, daily I'm talking to a book friend on Telegram usually. So little bubble chats, if you've used Telegram, that's my thing every day. So I love my sisters that I've made there, beautiful sisters in Christ, and we talk literally every day. So I'm talking to someone at least every day, and then there's several friends that I talk weekly. I check in with them, and it may not be every week, but at least it's monthly. You know, we're checking in on each other, and it's just beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see, and I never would have expected this. I've talked a lot about this on my channel in many different ways. I think I've got some videos where I've got emotional crying about it. I'm gonna try not to in this, but you know, it's just the Lord has truly blessed me to be able to share my love for books with you all, and for you to share your love of books with me, and just this great platform that we have to communicate about good, clean Christian reads. Like, this community has grown in such a beautiful way, and that's another thing that surprised me. You know, it's just so many have joined the Christian Booktube community, and I absolutely love that. And it's just, yeah, the friendships, the community is just amazing, and I love you all so much. That's the best part of Booktube, truly. Question number 2. Oh, wait. Part 1, it said, in a good way and in a bad way. What has surprised me in a good way and a bad way? As far as what has been surprising in a bad way, I don't know. Maybe just how many books I buy, and sometimes that can be hard. Sometimes that can be bad. Buying too many books and the influence of Booktube can sometimes, I don't know if that surprised me, but that can be hard, you know, falling into a little bit of a comparison trap there of like, oh, I need this. No, you don't. You know, FOMO, all that stuff happens. But yeah, I mostly, everything that has surprised me about Booktube has been great, honestly. And just getting to chat with you guys in the comments is the best part too. Like, I love the comments. So, question number 2, we're just gonna move on. How do you balance reading and Booktube with the rest of your life? Well, I've been pretty transparent about that too. Like today I'm batch filming on a weekend, and it's hard, you know. I've got a son with special needs. He is autistic, and he is almost 5 years old, and we're just trying to work through everything. He's made a lot of gains, y'all. It's been great. He's using his pen and his pencil to like write things, and you know, he's using his utensils better. Honey, let me just say, that boy's making strides. Praise the Lord. But I've shared a lot about his updates and stuff here, but you know, that can be tough, trying to just navigate that. And this has also become kind of an outlet for me to have some sort of normalcy in my own personal life, because I don't have a lot of in-person friends. And so, you know, I feel like this is honestly that little space on the internet that I can just talk about things I love and have a hobby still and not lose my entire self. As a mom, sometimes that is hard, especially when you don't have like in-person friends that you can just truly connect with like I do with you guys. It's hard. But anyway, the balancing of reading can be tough because who has the time to sit down as a busy mom trying to keep the house clean and, and a wife to Blake, just trying to like, me and him don't get any time together either, hardly. So for me, reading is really like audiobooks a lot. I have found that Alexa can read you a Kindle book, and it may sound a little bit robotic, but it's not too bad. So I have used that. I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes I really want to read and like get through the content but any way I can. And if I don't have an audiobook and I'm like, oh, I don't have an audiobook on this Kindle book, she could do that. I mean, any way I can consume the content, I'm going to. Whether that's audiobooks or ebooks or physical books, whatever I can do. That audiobooks has truly helped and increased my reading tremendously. I listen to a lot of things on 2 speed. No joke. So even YouTube video, probably every YouTube video I watch is a 2-speed listen. It's just, I'm used to it now. 1 speed's too slow, and time, it's like, kind of like I was saying earlier, I am behind on everybody's YouTube videos. And so when I do try to catch up, 2 speed, it helps, because I really want to like support you all that are making videos and be able to come out there, watch your content and comment, but timing again. So it can be tough, to find the time sometimes, and many times I'm like, I just need to quit scrolling on Instagram and go catch up on YouTube or go catch up on reading. And so yeah, it can be hard. Trying to be more mindful of my time is definitely something as well. And I do work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, very busy with that. So my reading is, like I said, a lot of audiobooks, and it helps. So I don't know if that really answered it, but I just try to do the best I can. And if I don't put a lot of pressure on myself. If there's times I can't get a video out, I'm gonna be like, it's fine. You all know it's fine. If there's a time that like I can't read, it's fine too. Don't get caught up in this comparison trap, similar to Tiffany's video. She talked about that too. I think a lot of us have. I have a whole video too talking about this. I'll link it below. But like, and Tiffany talked about this too. It's like, if you read 1 book, you are a reader. And she just responded to my comment, we are not out here gatekeeping reading. Amen, sister. Somebody might read 20 books or 5 books or 1 book, and it doesn't matter. If there's a readathon, don't feel like you have to participate in everything. That's why in my own readathon that I had created with the Southern Charm, if you read 1 book, you participated, because life is busy. I don't want anybody getting stressed out about a readathon. There's no reason to. And so I try to balance the best I can and give myself grace. Give yourself grace with reading. Give yourself grace with making videos. People will be here, and the people who truly care about you and love you and your content will always be here to watch it, no matter if it's 1 video a week, 1 video a month. They're going to be here. We love our community. Our little community here is definitely the most supportive, I feel like, that I've ever seen on the internet. So question number 3, have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? No, not really. I know several people have them. I have been a part of a couple at times throughout the last 5 years. I'm not a part of any right now. It's just too much for me, honestly. I know some people have Discord chats. That'd be too much for me, again, to keep up with. It's hard enough to keep up my Telegram chats, honey. So, and Instagram messages, I'm not able to do extra content, even if I wanted to. And I'm just going to kind of leave this as a free platform of my content. And, not to say anything about anybody who does Patreon. I'm not saying that. But for me personally, I don't have time. If I did it, I would want to do live chats. I wouldn't have time for that. I'd love to do Zoom calls or, just live YouTube videos. I can't do that. It's literally impossible with everything I have going on in my family life. And I never want to take away from my family life for this. So, personally, that would be a no. I know some people may want that, but, I just try to do the best I can, honestly, with this. And that's not something that I have thought about doing, but I really admire people who are able to do that. And I think it's great that they can build that community with people that want to support them in an extra way. That is nice to see people being able to do that. But, my channel's monetized, and I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. and go from there. So I recently did the monetization maybe in May, and I could have done it earlier, and I had mixed feelings about that, and I didn't know if like you all would feel weird about that, but a lot of people say that you're seeing ads on my videos anyway regardless. So might as well make a little bit of money on it. And it's not much money. It's like $2, $3, $2 to $3 a day. And that's nice, but it's not like enough that you could live on. You know what I'm saying? I don't care to tell you. That's kind of what it's been over the last little bit. And, you know, I was worried, would people leave? Are there too many ads on my videos? I couldn't really, I didn't really control it in any way. I just let YouTube do it. And nobody has said anything, so I hope it's okay. I think a lot of you all are probably used to ads, unless you have YouTube Premium. I do have YouTube Premium that I pay for, but yeah, I think people are used to it. So I talked to one of my subscribers, and she said, girl, it's fine. I totally support you doing that because everybody else has video ads anyway, so it's no big deal. So yeah. Then question number 4, have you made any mistakes on Booktube? I wouldn't say mistakes. I don't know. I think some of my early videos were cringe, but that's just part of the process. So I know there's been some videos that I have missed cutting something out and been like, oh, I meant to cut that out, but I didn't. Nobody said anything. So like where maybe I had repeated myself or something. But other than that, I guess that's it. Question number 5, do you have any advice for new booktubers? Well, funny you ask that. I have a whole video on creating a new booktube channel and best tip advice. And that's actually before I started using Canva. So I highly recommend Canva for like any kind of graphics now, if you can. But back then I would use like a different app and stuff for thumbnails. But it's a little bit dated, but it still stands true to me. I feel like if you are looking to do a booktube channel, just do it. Get started, get past your awkward stage. It is kind of odd to talk to a camera, but you get used to it. Tiffany kind of talked about that too. You know, you get used to talking to camera. It's fine. I talk to the front facing camera, so it's not the highest quality, but you could turn it around on your phone and get a better quality. I know, but I like to see myself talking. Just like I said, just get started. Be yourself. Be honest and transparent. Be careful on what you share. Do not, when you're opening a package, don't let nobody see your address. So be careful with what you share publicly because there are some crazy people on here. You don't know who's watching you. When you have a channel, you can't see everybody that subscribes to you. You can't. You can only see people that have their subscriptions public. So yeah, I've got 1,600 subscribers, but I can only see a small portion of those that have their subscriptions public. So, you know, you don't know who's watching you, whether they subscribe or not. And that's why I'm pretty private on personal things. You know, I try not to share my last name. I don't want people to know where I work and the city I live in. I just try to keep all that private the best way I know how, you know, and it is what it is because there are some crazy people out there. And I've had some very odd comments. I've had to block some people. You know, it's just the typical things. So internet safety first, and just be yourself though to the best degree you can while keeping everything private, if that makes sense. Just start for your love of books. You know, think about the reason you want to do this channel, and don't get caught up in comparison. Like I said, reading one book, you are a reader. It doesn't matter if you read one book, 10 books, 15, 20, 30. It doesn't matter how many books you read in a month, a year, a week, a day. It doesn't matter. You are still a reader. You are valuable here on this community, and we want to hear your thoughts on your books that you are reading and what you enjoy. It doesn't matter. Just, you know, pray about it. Trust in the Lord throughout the process. And don't get caught up in the numbers. So there's questions about the numbers later. We'll talk about that. Question number 6. What are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? I don't understand it. Like, I don't know why some videos get a lot of views and some don't. I know that, like, I think Booktube side, you get pushed out a lot. What am I saying? I feel messed up. Leave that in there. I'm trying to say that YouTube pushes the TBRs, the book hauls, and the wrap-ups. Those get the most views, we know. Recommendation videos get quite a bit of views as well, but I don't know. Vlogs, they don't get as much views. We all know this. I've had one vlog get quite a bit. I think one of them did get 1,000 views when I took Outlander off my shelves. Maybe the algorithm tried to promote that because it had Outlander in it. Who knows? Again, we don't know. I have no idea why the algorithm pushes out certain videos and doesn't. Tiffany mentioned about if you have a video that's monetized, versus not, that she and others have noticed that monetized videos get more views than others. All of mine are technically, quote, monetized, or, you know, I don't have any that are not. So I haven't really paid attention to that, honestly, but, yeah, I don't understand it. The best way I got to say it. Number 7, and this is 2 parts. How do you decide what videos to make? Usually people tag me and stuff like this. Hey, I got a video. What's everybody else kind of doing? Looking around and seeing what other people do. I don't want to like copy someone, but I think that it doesn't, here we don't really care, right? Like if I do a video and you think, oh, hey, I want to do that, go do it. I don't care. I think most of us are that way. As long as you say, hey, I saw so-and-so do this. I think that's a courtesy thing, right? And then leave the video in the description, tag them, all that stuff. I think that's a good courtesy. Yeah, I mean, I've never really had, kind of like Tiffany said, it's like, I don't have a whole lot of videos ideas coming up. And that's part 2. Are you overwhelmed with video ideas? No, I'm always looking for video ideas. It's hard, especially after almost 2 years of doing this. You're really trying to get creative at this point. So, you know, we can always do reading vlogs and themed vlogs. You know, I know my girl Alicia did like an emotional reading vlog, reading emotional books. So I'll leave that below if y'all want to watch it. I just finished watching it today. It was so good. Loved it so much. But, you know, there's things like that. Or there's readathons you can participate in and do like themed stuff around that. You know, book rec videos are always good. New favorites, all that stuff. But it can just be hard sometimes to come up with what we need to do in the middle of the month. Beginning and end, I'm good because you've got a TBR, you got to wrap up, all that stuff. You could, you know, tie it to the weekend to vlog and spin it out a few days. But, you know, it's kind of like, okay, I need to figure out what's going to happen between like the 5th and the 15th. You know, 5th and the 20th, whatever you want to say. So, I've been doing pretty good so far. Book tags help quite a bit, I will say. Anyway, I just kind of look and see what everybody else is doing. Have I done this? Make notes. I brainstorm. I spend 20 minutes doing a brainstorming session, all that stuff. Question number 8. Have you ever regretted posting a video? No, I think very similar to what Tiffany said. I have been nervous about talking about content in a certain video. You know, there's been several videos where I have teared up. I've talked about, you know, my faith journey, or I have talked about a little bit more personal things, or I've talked about content in a book and my personal thoughts that might be an unpopular opinion, or, you know, I'm very transparent here, okay? I'm very honest and transparent about how I feel about a book, and I've gotten more honest and transparent over the last year. You know, when you first start out reading a lot of books at once, you know, you're trying to figure out how to do reviews, and now I feel like I finally figured out how to do the compliment sandwich. Sometimes you feel like you want to, you know, be positive, and I'm not going to bash somebody who's wrote a book unless it's just like, what is this, completely 1 star, you know what I'm saying? But I don't even want to bash nobody ever, really. It's like, if it's not for me, it could be for someone else. And sometimes I try to think, okay, like how can I word things to be as open and honest to you guys that if I didn't love it, you still might, you know? And just like if I DNF a book, like the Pumpkin in a Patch book I talked about, telling you why and letting you make your decision. So, you know, sometimes those unpopular opinions and those open and honest conversations can be hard. And I struggle sometimes with faith content videos because everyone has their different thoughts and opinions and theology, discussion points, hoping everything I'm saying comes across correctly in things like that. And so sometimes I've got nervous about that. But I will say every time, because there's been some videos I've said to my bestie, I'm like, hey, watch this, you know, let me know if this is okay. Am I saying this right? Like the video where I talked about honestly reading and reviewing books and my thoughts on that, you know, it's okay. And they're like, every time I get nervous about that, but the Lord, he does work in that, you know, it's like, you're just talking from the heart and you pray about this and the Holy Spirit will, you know, just come across, I feel like, through you to share your story, and other people have always been blessed by it in the comments from what you have said. I've always seen just great feedback when I post those things. So I'm glad that I still do that. And even though I get nervous, so I haven't regretted a video, but again, it's been more like I'm nervous so of how it's going to come across and making sure it's right and all that stuff. And I never want anybody to feel like I'm being attacking anybody at all or any of that stuff. I just want to make sure I come across in the right way on a platform like this. And question number 9, are the number of views / subscribers meaningful to you? And then are the number of views, subscribers, and measurement of success. And I feel like, you know, we all get excited about our 1K subscribers or, you know, milestones, right? 2K, 1K, 1.5K, 500, you know, those are kind of like the milestones for me that I was excited about. And I'm at 1.6 right now. And I'm sure at some point I'll hit 2,000. And what I feel like is I don't feel like it's not like success really. It's just, to me, success in this community is the friendships that we made, in the books we get to talk about, being here and just shining for the Lord and sharing my heart for Jesus and good, clean fiction, hoping that I minister to someone. You know, I could read a secular book, let's say like the video I did when I was reading The Bodyguard, but then trying to like tie in some faith content in there and someone's ministered to in a way, you know, like you never know who you're going to touch by someone who clicks on that video. And that to me is wonderful. Like the comments that I have received, which is another question on comments, I'll hold this a little bit, but the comments you all say have meant the world to me. And that is the success, right? Like that is the best part of this is you all, and we wouldn't be doing this without you guys. And so to me, I don't know that it's really a measure of success. It's nice to see growth. It's nice to celebrate growth and everything, but I also try to be mindful in that. And because the comparison trap can be a struggle, you know, here on Booktube and anywhere really, you know, whether I'm seeing social media posts from other moms and comparing my child to comparing my books to others, it's very easy to fall into a comparison trap. But we know that the Lord loves us as we are and we should not compare ourselves, right? It's just, comparison is the true thief of joy. And it's what the devil wants. He wants us to compare ourselves and feel less than. But at the end of the day, I know that that is a real thing that occurs. And I have caught myself just trying to be very mindful of, you know, anything that I talk about, trying to make sure it's not coming across in any kind of braggy way, whether it's an ARC I've received or, you know, an author message or, you know, anything like that. Because authors, they're just people like me and you, they ain't celebrities. So I have really caught myself just trying to be very mindful on anything that I talk about. And similar, like I said in that video that I'm talking about, where I talked about honestly reading and reviewing books, you know, and not falling into the comparison trap of reading and ARC reading and all of that, and not feeling pressure to read all the ARCs or review all of the books and all of this stuff. You know, I find myself trying to be very mindful about the people watching me. You know, I never want to come across and make anybody feel less than or where they can easily compare upon on something I'm talking about. Like this is really tying into that mistakes on Booktube. I think like early on when I started the ARC reading and stuff, you know, you first feel like, oh, I need to read all the books, and you feel like, you know, all the stuff you want to talk about, but at the same time, you should be very mindful, in my mind, of the people who are watching you, because you never want to come across, at least I don't ever want to come across in a negative way, or, you know, just to make anybody feel left out in any way, because it's hard, you know, like I said, that comparison trap, it creeps up easily. And, you know, I've taken steps back on ARC reading, and, you know, just trying to, if I don't feel like, oh, I'm not going to have time to do this, make sure that I still pre-order their books, because pre-orders are very important to authors. I don't know where I'm going off on this tangent. It's kind of like random, but, you know, just, I remember thinking back to when I first started doing the ARC reviews and stuff and falling into a comparison trap of, okay, I feel like I need to do it all, and you don't. And I've talked a lot about this. So, you know, I personally, going back to that, making sure that I never, and I know you all told me I don't come across this way, but like, I just try to be careful of what you say, you know, and I'm very intentional here on this channel, and I want to make sure that, you know, this is a safe place for us to just talk about books and how much we love books, and it's not a competition about who can read the most ARCs or who can talk to the most authors, or who can go to the most events, or who can read the most books or post the most videos and get the most views and get the most subscribers. It's not about all of that. That a lot of times people can fall into that trap, you know. And again, we're not out here monitoring people's reading, you know. You just, as long as you read one book, you at any time, you're a reader. And even if you don't, you know, you just love to watch the videos about the books and cultivate a TBR. Whatever you enjoy is great. This kind of went on a whole rabbit hole, but I feel like the number of, back to this question of, are number of views and subscribers meaningful to me? No, the comments, kind of like Tiffany said, like the number of comments you get and just the people who interact with you, that is a very good measure of success. Like people who interact with you and just those that share anything in the comments and want to have that connection with you, that is a measure of success in itself on your channel. And I just feel like that is something that I have loved personally. It's more than any kind of stat could ever mean, is you all talking back and forth with me. But you know, I've really tried to cultivate this community on my channel of transparency, honesty, openness, and making sure that I come across in a very humble manner on anything that I do here. So, yeah, let's go back to the next question. Number 10, are you disappointed by the growth on your channel? No, I'm very just thankful for those that want to be here and chat about books and be my friend and just all these things. Like, I remember when I first started my channel, I never thought like even 100 people would watch it. I remember celebrating 100, 200, you know, and yeah, it's just, you know, it's not about the numbers again. It's truly about this cultivation of our community and making these great long-lasting friendships. And I hope at some point I can meet so many of you. I'm really hoping one day I can meet more of my friends that I have made here on Booktube. You know, I've met 2 so far, and it's just the greatest thing. I cannot wait to meet more of you. It's the best, just to make that connection with others. So, and then number 11 is, have you ever thought about quitting Booktube? No, I just, not yet. I've not hit that yet. You know, there's times when I don't feel motivated to film or something like that, but never really like quitting Booktube. I know I could always take a break and you all will still be here because y'all my friends. Then question number 12, well, it's 2 parts. What are the most touching comments and what are the most negative comments? Now, the most touching comments, I actually had a video where I read one of the comments I got recently out loud, and I started crying reading it, and it's comments like that. I'll link that video down below. It was a vlog, and I can't remember, I think it was my Romans chat maybe, but most touching comments are the people that are always just so kind and saying this just sweetest things, like about oh, lovely Amanda this morning, or just like people that tell me a little bit of their story, special needs, you know, connections that I've made as well, or mom connections, or just faith connections, and those that I have been able to connect with on a faith level, or I have ministered to in a faith level, have meant the world to me. And I have one subscriber named Frances who always leaves the sweetest comments. I have to shout her out. All of you all are amazing, but I really appreciate Frances. I'm gonna go look right now and just kind of tell y'all, her comments always stand out to me. There was one comment she left. It's stuff like this: we love Amanda, the God-fearing woman, the loving wife and mother, the true and precious friend, the book reviewer. Just fancy. I just eat a little bit. I had to take a break and come back and I eat, so now I'm like, I can't talk. The barista, the YouTube chef, the SEC sport analyst, the true transparency self. I'm sure this is just the tip of the iceberg of your many God-given qualities. You just keep being you because you show God's love. Also, I love the hubs with the pop-ups during your vlogs. God bless. And 8 people had like that comment or whatever, but she is always so sweet. She'll say things like, what a blessing you are. Keep being you, Miss Amanda. You're wonderfully made by God. And it's not just her. A lot of you all say this stuff, but like, I truly appreciate comments like this. It just means the world to me. Every time I see them, they just make my day, you know. And I need to go back to that video, so I have the questions. But yeah, it's just, those comments mean the world. When you were telling me about your day or your week or what you're reading, those are also amazing. How we connect and you share your reads with me, and just, there's so many comments. I mean, I get so many comments and I love them all. Like, I very rarely do I have a negative comment. And, yeah, 12B. What are the most negative comments? And I haven't had that many, but occasionally you get some that are either judging your faith, a few, and that's always hard. And there's some that are just downright ugly, and I have deleted them. Because there's just no point in arguing with someone on the internet. If they watch my videos for any amount of time, they're going to know my true self. You know what I'm saying? And there's no point usually in arguing with someone that is just downright ugly to you on the internet, usually. And then there have been some on the flip side where they're a bit legalistic in their faith, and they may judge a lot of the things that I may talk about or have said, or I might have a book that is a Christian fiction book and they're judging it because it wasn't perfect in certain ways. And that has happened rarely. And, you know, and I think it's okay to have that discussion. Tiffany talked about this as well. I keep referring to her video because me and her are the same on a lot of things. You know, it's like, it's okay to disagree, right? There's been several books that a lot of us have disagreed on and have great conversation. It just stirs up great conversation in general on books as it is. That's fine. But people who are like just downright ugly and downright just want to fight, you know, you can always tell. Some of them look like bots. It's like, they don't even look like a person. Is this even a real person? You know, or what are they saying? Those are just irritating at times. And so, everybody knows my heart for Jesus. They know my heart for you as my viewers, and for books and for life and just everything that I love. And if you watch me for any amount of time, you're going to know that. So, you know, a lot of times I just ignore that stuff or try to respond in a loving way the best I can if possible. So, in number 13, in regards to Booktube, where do you see yourself in 5 years? For me, I would say still doing this as best I can, if possible. I mean, technology changes so rapidly, just like she was saying as well. And, you know, I work in telecommunications. I know how quickly it changes better than anybody. So you never know about what the next thing is, you know, but yeah, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, and I'm gonna keep reading books and talking about them and just making those great connections. So this is a very long video. I don't know, I had to film this in 3 or 4 parts, so sorry if I moved around quite a bit. Had to keep getting up and checking on things. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's chat below about anything you want to. I'm sorry if I missed something I want to talk about. This is really like on the fly here, but I truly love our community. I love this channel. I love everything about what we're doing here. And I feel like, you know, as long as we keep the Lord first in our life, He's going to shine. He's going to show up, okay, here in our space. And He's doing some amazing things in this little corner of the internet. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all are having a great day. I'm not going to tag anybody. I meant to say that. I'm not going to tag anybody. If you want to do this video, please do it. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.